Well, I would agree with that. I think Allen Houston is a great candidate to be in the NBA, and I wanted him to kind of figure out where he wanted to fit in, whether he wanted to fit in as a coach with the aspirations of being a head coach someday, or in the front office as a general manager somewhere. Right now, I think he's headed toward being a general manager somewhere or here. And so we started him in what I would term as player development, meaning that he's there to kind of mentor the young players that we have, both on and off the court. He's out at practice every day, works with players, and tries to show them some of the tricks of the NBA. And that's what he's been doing so far. However, as we go on, in fact, starting next week, he'll start going out and scouting the college draft a little bit. And then when we get to the draft, he'll be involved in that. When we get to the free agent part of all this and the signing, when we start signing players, I want him involved in that so he can get a feel for what that's all about. In any of the trades that I've done so far, I've included him so that he can just have he's in the office with me when we do it, so he can get a feel for how trades are done. So it'll be a gradual kind of exposure to all the aspects of either being a coach or a general manager of an NBA franchise. Well, the first thing I look for, and this is assuming talent, skill, athletic ability, a lot of other things. I look for guys that have a certain amount of toughness, and I don't mean entirely physical toughness, although I think that's important in some positions, but also mental toughness. And I look for guys who want to win. As I go on more and more, I'm looking, number one, to see is there a position in the NBA for this player? Because of matchups in the NBA, you have to be able to guard your position or a position. Number two, does the player fit in with our team? Does his game fit with our players or the players that we think we're going to have, the style that we have? So those are all the questions I ask myself after the guy is already a top prospect, because you always have to choose between 3, 4, 5 guys for your pick, which is the one you want. And it doesn't make any difference what all the press say. It doesn't make any difference what the other teams say. It's basically what does your team need. And so it's a process we go through. And when you get down to the end, it's always close. You could go one way or the other, and you just hope you pick the right guy. As I do this more and more, I also see players with energy. I'm starting to look for that because they're infectious. And the best example I could give would be Kevin Garnett's impact in Boston. When I first brought Ronnie Artest to the Pacers, it was very difficult for the other players on the floor not to play with his intensity when they were playing with him. And so the whole team got a lot more intense. So those are some of the things I look for.